Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on microwave and radar engineering. In this lecture, I am going to discuss the operation of moving target indication radar, that is MTA radar, with the help of its block diagram and as well as the concept of delay line cancellers. So these are the learning outcomes of this lecture. After successful completion of this lecture, you will be able to explain the working of moving target indication radar, working of MTA radar. So in this one, there are two types of diagrams are there. So one will be with the power amplifier transmitter and another one will be power oscillator transmitter. And you can able to understand the concept of delay line cancellers which are going to be used in the MTA radar. So coming to the introduction, we know if the radar is used for detecting the movable targets, then the radar should receive only the echo signals due to that movable targets. This echo signal is the desired one only. However, in practical applications, the radar receives the echo signals due to stationary objects in addition to the echo signal due to the movable targets. The echo signals due to stationary objects, like places such as land or sea are called clutters. Those are called clutters because these are unwanted signal. We are calling it as unwanted clutters. Therefore, we have to choose the radar in such a way that it considers only the echo signals due to the movable targets but not the clutters. So for this purpose, radar uses the principle of Doppler effect for distinguishing the non-stationary targets from the stationary objects. This type of radar is called moving target indication radar or simply MTA radar. According to the Doppler effect, we know that the frequency of the received signal will increase if the target is moving towards the direction of radar. Similarly, the frequency of the received signal will decrease if the target is moving away from the radar. MTA radar means moving target indication radar. This is one form of pulsed radar. Already we have learned the pulsed radar. This is one form of the pulsed radar. So MTA radar characterized by its very low pulse repetition frequency and senses no range ambiguity in MTA radar. Moving target indication is the process of rejecting the fixed or slowly moving clutter while passing echoes from targets moving at the significant velocities. Moving target indication radar. Here a delay line canceller filter to isolate moving targets from the non-moving background. The Doppler shift produced by the moving target may be used in pulsed radar, that is one to determine the relative velocity of the target, and the second one is to separate desired moving targets from undesired stationary clutters. Here the second application has been great importance. In this one, the second application is the great importance. The MTA radar usually operates with ambiguous Doppler measurements, that is called blind speeds. So later we will discuss these blind speeds, but with the unambiguous range, that is no second time around echoes. Necessity in high quality air surveillance radars that operates in the presence of clutters. MTA radar adds cost and complexity and digital signal processing. So coming to the types of MTA radars, so we can classify the MTA radars into the following two types based on the type of the transmitter that has been used. So based on the type of the transmitter that has been used, here it is MTA radar with power amplifier transmitter, and the next one will be MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter. First one will be with power amplifier transmitter and second one will be with power oscillator transmitter. So now let us discuss about these two MTA radars one by one. So MTA radar with power amplifier transmitter. MTA radar with power amplifier transmitter. So MTA radar uses single antenna for both transmission and reception of signals with the help of duplexer. Uses the single antenna for transmission and reception with the help of the duplexer. The block diagram of the MTA radar with power amplifier transmitter is shown here. Now we will discuss the function of each block of MTA radar with power amplifier transmitter. So first one is pulse modulator. Pulse modulator. It produces a pulse modulated signal and is applied to the power amplifier. It produces the pulse modulated signal and applied to the power amplifier. So here power amplifier. So it amplifies the power levels of the pulsed modulated signal. It amplifies the power levels of the pulsed modulated signal. So next one will be local oscillator. Local oscillator. It produces a signal having stable frequency FL. It produces a signal having the stable frequency FL. Hence, it is also called stable local oscillator. It is also called as stable local oscillator. The output of the local oscillator. The output of the local oscillator is applied to both mixer 1 and mixer 2. Both mixer 1 and mixer 2. So next one will be the coherent oscillator. Coherent oscillator. It produces a signal having an intermediate frequency. Here it is considered as FC. Intermediate frequency FC. This signal is used as the reference signal. The output of coherent oscillator. The output of the coherent oscillator is applied to both mixer 1 and phase detector. The output of the coherent oscillator is applied to both mixer 1 and phase detector. So coming to the mixer 1. Mixer 1 can produce either sum or difference of the frequencies. Differences of the frequencies that are applied to it. Here the signals having frequencies of FL, that is local oscillator frequency, and FC, that is coherent oscillator frequencies, we are applying to the mixer 1. Here the mixer 1 is used to produce the output which is having the frequency of FL plus FC. So next one will be duplexer. It is a microwave switch which connects the antenna to either the transmitter section or the receiver section based on the requirement. Antenna transmits the signal having the frequency FL plus FC when the duplexer connects the antenna to power amplifier. So antenna transmits the signal, that is FL plus FC, when the duplexer connects to the power amplifier and the antenna. Okay. Similarly, the antenna receives the signal. The antenna receives the signal having the frequency of FL plus FC plus or minus FD. FL plus FC plus or minus FD when the duplexer connects the antenna to the mixer 2. That is, so mixer 2, one of the input is FL plus FC plus or minus FD. Now coming to the mixer 2. So mixer can produce either sum or difference of the frequencies that are applied to it. We know that the signals having the frequencies FL plus FC plus or minus FD and FL are applied to the mixer 2. Here the mixer 2 is used for producing the output which is having the frequency FC plus or minus FD. So to eliminate that local oscillator, that applied frequency here, so we are getting Fc plus or minus Fd. That is the output of mixer 2. So that will be given to the input of the IF amplifier. So coming to the IF amplifier, the IF amplifier amplifies the intermediate frequency signal. The IF amplifier shown in this figure amplifies the signal having the frequency of Fc plus or minus Fd. Okay, this amplified signal is applied to an input to the phase detector. The amplified signal, amplified Fc plus or minus Fd is applied to the phase detector, right? Now the phase detector, it is used to produce the output signal having the frequency Fd, from the applied two input signals which are having the frequencies of Fc plus or minus Fd and Fc. The output of the phase detector can be connected to the delay line canceller. These delay line cancellers we will discuss later. So this is the operation of the MTA radar with power amplified transmitter. So this is the operation of that MTA radar with power amplified transmitter. So please go through this. So now MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter. MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter. So the block diagram of MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter is shown in this figure. The block diagram of MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter looks similar to the block diagram of MTA radar with power amplified transmitter. The blocks corresponding to the receiver section will be same as in both the block diagrams. See here, these are same. Receiver section will be the same. Okay. Whereas the blocks corresponding to the transmitter section may differ in both the block diagrams. That is with power amplified transmitter, with power oscillator transmitter. Okay. There is a only change in the transmitter section. So as shown in this figure, MTA radar uses the single antenna for both transmission and reception of the signals with the help of duplexer. So the operation of the MTA radar with power oscillator transmitter is mentioned here. Okay. The output of the magnetron oscillator, and the output of the local oscillator are applied to the mixer 1. So this will further produce an IF signal, the phase of which is directly related to the phase of the transmitted signal. So the output of the mixer 1 is applied to the coherent oscillator. Therefore, the phase of the coherent oscillator output will be looked to the phase of the IF signal. This means the phase of the coherent oscillator output will also directly relate to the phase of the transmitted signal. So the output of the coherent oscillator can be used as reference signal for comparing the received echo signal with the corresponding transmitted signal using phase detector. This process, the above process will be repeated for every newly transmitted signal. So coming to the next concept, that is delay line canceller. So it is very important and useful in MTA radar. So as already we have seen that the output will be the output of the phase detector. The output of the phase detector is connected to the delay line cancellers. Okay, here these are comes into the picture. So the delay line canceller. What is the delay line canceller? So here we will learn about the delay line cancellers in the radar systems. So as the name suggests that the delay line the delay line introduces a certain amount of delay. So the delay line is mainly used in delay line canceller in order to introduce a delay of pulse repetition time. In order to produce the delay of pulse repetition time. So the delay line canceller is a filter. So it is a filter which eliminates the DC components of echo signals received from stationary targets. This means it allows the AC components of echo signals received from the non-stationary targets, that is moving targets. So coming to the types of delay line cancellers. So delay line cancellers can be classified into the following two types based on the number of delay lines that are present in it. So coming to the first one, single delay line canceller, and the next one will be double delay line canceller. So here we will discuss more about these two delay line cancellers. So coming to the first one, single delay line canceller. So here the combination of a delay line and a subtractor, the combination of a delay line and a subtractor is known as delay line canceller. So here it is delay line and the subtractor. It is the delay line canceller. It is known as delay line canceller. It is also called as single delay line canceller. It is also called as single delay line canceller. So here it is the block diagram of MTI receiver with a single delay line canceller. So we can write the mathematical equation of the received echo signal after the Doppler effect as, so here it is, V1 is equals to A into sine 2 pi f dt minus pi naught. Okay, whereas A is the amplitude of the video signal and Fd is the Doppler frequency and pi naught is the phase shift and is equal to 4 pi ft r naught by c. We will get the output of the delay line canceller by replacing t by t minus Tp in the equation 1. So that is now V2 is equals to A sin 2 pi ft. Earlier it is t, that is replaced with t minus Tp minus pi naught. So where Tp is the pulse repetition time. So we will get the subtractor output by subtracting equation 2 from equation 1. So the output of the subtractor is applied as input to full wave rectifier as shown in that figure. Therefore, the output of full wave rectifier looks like as shown in the following figure. Here it is. So it is nothing but the frequency response of the single delay line canceller. Here it is nothing but the frequency response of the single delay line canceller. From this figure, we can observe that the frequency response of single delay line canceller becomes 0 when pi fd Tp is equal to integer multiples of pi. This means pi fd Tp is equal to n into pi. Mathematically it can be represented as pi fd Tp is equals to n pi. So fd Tp equals to n. So fd equals to n by Tp, that is n by, small correction, n by Tp, that will be considered as equation 3. From equation 3 we can conclude that the frequency response of the single delay line canceller becomes 0 when Doppler frequency Fd is equal to the integer multiple of reciprocal of pulse repetition time, or we can write it as is equals to n into Fp. So finally we can conclude that the frequency response of the single delay line canceller becomes 0 when Doppler frequency Fd is equal to integer multiples of pulse repetition frequency Fp. Okay. Next one will be blind speeds. From what we learned so far, single delay line canceller eliminates the DC components of echo signals received from stationary targets when n is equals to 0. In addition to that, it also eliminates the AC components of echo signals received from non-stationary targets when the Doppler frequency FD is equals to integer multiples of pulse repetition frequency Fp, that is other than 0 only. So the relative velocities for which the frequency response of single delay line canceller becomes 0 are called blind speeds. Mathematically, we can write the expression for blind speed, that is Vn as Vn is equals to n lambda by 2 Tp. So that is Vn is equals to n lambda Fp by 2. So where Vn is nothing but the blind speed. So next one will be double delay line canceller. We know that a single delay line canceller consists of a delay line and a subtractor. If two such delay line cancellers are cascaded together, then that combination are called double delay line canceller. Here it is. So single delay line cancellers are cascaded. The block diagram of double delay line canceller is shown in this figure. So here P of t. So let P of t and Q of t be the input and output of the first delay line canceller. So P of t and Q of t, input and output of the first delay line canceller, we will get the following mathematical relation. See, so we will get the mathematical relation like Q of t is equals to P of t minus Tp. That is the output of the first delay line canceller. So the output of the first delay line canceller is applied as an input to the second delay line canceller. See here. So output of the first delay line canceller is applied as the input of the second delay line canceller. So let R of t be the output of the second delay line canceller. So we'll get the following mathematical relation from the second delay line canceller as R of t is equals to Q of t minus Q of t minus Tp. The advantage of double delay line canceller is that it rejects the clutter broadly. So mainly here it is to eliminate the clutters. The output of two delay line cancellers which are cascaded will be equal to the square of the output of single delay line canceller. These are the references followed for this lecture. Thank you.